Okay, so hi everybody. It's Tuesday, October 6th, I feel, and I'm glad you're all here on time. Um, we are already, I don't know how we arrived here, but we are in week 7. And last week we completed all the mobile game design. I haven't gotten to grade your submissions yet, but I will. That was my intention this weekend, but I failed, so I apologize. I've moved things forward to week 7, so I want to call attention to you. As I said, we keep morphing this semester, so a lot of you might be a little bit ahead and have done some design archives and some research on banner ads already. I moved them to week 8. I actually hid them from you so you can't see them. Because we're really kind of a week behind on our work. And we're a week behind mostly because we're going more in depth with all of our assignments. So what I'd like to do today is I'd like to go back to the design archives of week 5, which is where all of you found ads, and I'm not sure if it's in the design, I think it's in the design archives here, where you found ads where the product was not highlighted in the ad as the product, but as maybe a metaphor or a play on words or something for it, and have you come up here and we'll share those together. Okay, that's what we'll do today. And the other thing I want to do, and I'm going to start the day by discussing this, is our upcoming assignment. And so if you're in week 7 and you click on a link called Advertising Series Assignment, I'd like everybody's attention up here because I really want this to be a conversation and a discussion. Yeah, thanks for putting your computer to sleep. I appreciate it. So this is going to be a work in progress. This is going to be this page link. So let me show you where I found it. Let me go backwards here. So this page link in week 7, again, called Advertising Series Introduction, is an assignment that is going to really last us to the end of the semester. It's going to be all-encompassing, and I'm going to update this web page as I update the criteria. You can look ahead, and there's criteria listing banner ads and transit ads and all these assignments. But I want to create this web page for you as basically the container for the unfolding of this assignment, meaning your first task with this assignment is going to be your design brief, which we'll talk about today. And we'll talk about the scope of work. And then where I have project benchmarks, I'll add a new web link for you. So what that means is, just so you understand what I'm doing and you get the hang of it, I want to have a simpler, cleaner container for you. That's the best way for me to describe it. So for example, if I go down further in the semester and I look, and here's your ad series, and I look at these words and they make me crazy. I just, it's too much chaos. Chris and I talked about this, or Sam and I talked about this. So right here are parameters for, let's say, your brochure. But I'm going to reconfigure this page and it'll show up, but it'll end up showing up on this page under a benchmark project. You follow me? You'll get that? All right. It's just more order in my mind anyway. So just stay with me each week and we'll get this thing tidied up for all of us so we stay on the same page. This is how I want to introduce this project to you. So, and this is why I want you to make a thoughtful decision. Hello. So we're going to create an, sorry. So we're going to create an ad series, and you're going to take one product. And the parameters of the project, if you look up there, were either a shoe, a handbag, or a skateboard manufacturer, a real one. They'll stay in your case, please. A real one, in other words, a real manufacturer with a real product. my thought was some of you might have a passion about something that might be a little different. It might be some, and I don't want to name it, it might be some different products that you're really, it just really drives you. It might be the focus in your passion. If you wish to take a different product that falls out of those 3 categories I just listed, pass it by me and make sure before you invest a lot of time in it that it's okay. Because I can visualize how these are going to be used and what the scope of work might be, and I don't want you to put yourself in a corner that might not be successful for your work, okay? All right. That being said, you're going to end up creating all these different categories. You're going to create basically a marketing campaign that carries itself far and wide. So you're going to create a marketing campaign where you're going to create magazine ads, print and digital both. You're going to create web banner ads, so ads that would show up on a web page as just maybe a header, and a web banner ad that would be maybe a sidebar, a larger one on a web page. You'll end up creating a marketing brochure that gets printed, and that's pretty elaborate, and you're going to have to print it physically, 2-sided. It's very technical. For those of you who are new to InDesign and some of this graphic design software, it's complex. Don't underestimate the complexity of it. It's complex. And so you're going to print a brochure for this one product, and you're going to have to design it with specific parameters. All these parameters, all the sizes, all the specifications for it, whether it's full color or 2-color, or whether it's digital or it's print. I probably shouldn't be wandering around. It should all be recorded up there, shouldn't it? Right. Whether it's digital or it's print, I will give you all of those specifications for what you're creating. Okay? It's going to fall under that benchmark project, each one. What's going to be so critical, I picked this up because, for example, with a brochure, I might give you parameters of the brochure is 4 colors on one side, and 2 colors on the other side, and is die cut, has some unique special way of folding the brochure. And you're going to have to learn how to create this, and you're not born knowing it. So if you don't know it and it flusters you, no problem. You say, how the heck do I do that? And I help you. We help each other. Yeah, Brooks?
Are we all making that exact
No.
format? Or whatever?
Each of you is going to make what your own genius comes up with. Good question. And I picked this up because I thought it was an interesting fold. Okay? I will give you specific parameters. In other words, the banner ad has to measure this size, it's this resolution, and I'll kind of give you a quick guide for resolution if it's not something you're familiar with, or how to set something up in InDesign if you're not familiar with it, so you aren't left in the cold. So you have to know what questions to ask. Let me think. What other scopes of work? So the magazine ad, you're not born knowing the size of a magazine ad page. You're not born knowing sizes and color requirements and how you supply the ad to the magazine. All those parameters are provided for you, and I will provide them. As far as the brochure, Brooks, to answer your question, the brochure is you're going to meet your client's needs. You're going to have a hypothetical client. Let's take a shoe company like Kenneth Cole Shoes, okay? Kenneth Cole Reaction Shoes, which are when I think of them, I always think they have rubber soles, so I think they're comfortable shoes, but trendy and stylish shoes, and you might pick one product. So when you pick your products, here's the things I want you all to think ahead and be thoughtful about. One is pick a product that excites you. Pick a product that when you search endlessly on the internet, you can find real photographs of that product at incredibly high resolution. Because if you pick a product and the only image you have is 2 inches tall, and you're going to print a brochure with that product, it's going to look horrible, and you're going to have an unprofessional looking product. If you have a skateboard and you love your skateboard and you know that product and you can photograph your own skateboard, how awesome is that? Then you have to think ahead of how high of a resolution can I capture my own photographs. You might also decide that you can't find a photo of that product at high enough resolution to fill a page like that. Or one of the things I want you guys to do is a pull-up display, which is the height of a person. And you're not going to really need the file to be the height of a person because we're going to dummy it to look like that. I'll help you do that too. Just like you dummied your iPhone games to sit on your iPhone, we'll dummy your pull-up display to sit on a pull-up. You get that? All right. But if, for example, you can't find your product at high enough resolution, then your ad campaign's going to have to be an ad campaign that doesn't highlight the product, right? You know what I mean? Like those ads you've looked at for your creative brief. Hi there. So it's very important that you think through ahead of time what your product is and what you can locate surrounding that product. So you're going to have to do research before you land on that one. Don't get your heart set on it and then find that you've put yourself in a corner. You all get that? All right. Let me think what else I can help you to prep you with it. Are there questions yet? Yeah, John.
One question I kind of had was, if we're doing real companies and potentially stuff that we have passion for, we may already know what their advertisements and ad campaigns look like or are like. How do we keep from letting that influence us too much and just end up creating what they are already doing?
Oh, such a good question. I'm going to repeat your question for this little video that's in front of me. So the question is, if you already know an ad campaign by a product that you have a passion for, how do you not let that influence you and just mimic what already exists, right? It's a fantastic question. Most of my clients will say, here's the work we've done in the past, or we didn't like the logo we had. Let me show you the mock-ups we didn't like. And you know what my answer to them is? Please don't show me. I don't want to know. I don't want them emblazoned in my brain because I'll never be able to get it out of my brain. And that, I have no good answer for you. My answer for you is you really have to think beyond it, or pick something different, or pick an ad campaign that a product you love with a campaign you don't like, and then know that you can improve on it. Some of the things I believe that you will be responsible for considering, which is, I'm glad you brought up this perspective. If you pick up an ad campaign for my brain's not working. Let's pick Coca-Cola because that's an easy logo for us all to visualize. Coca-Cola's color brand is red. We already know that. They already have a logo that already exists. Oh, that was fast. Let's see if we're still recording. We are recording. What do you know?
Interesting to see what that did.
What's that?
Be interesting to see what that did.
Yeah, exactly. You need to stick with the color brand and the logo design of the company that you have. You inherit it. It's like when you get a new client, you get that client's logo, you get that client's brand, you get the parameters for that client already. You know, there's something called branding guidelines. If it's a large enough client, they'll create branding guidelines where you'll have a logo and you'll learn that, let's say, the Coca-Cola logo can never be printed on top of a photograph. In other words, you can't put the logo on somebody's face or on a brick wall. It has to have a certain amount of white space around it. I'll pull up a branding guidelines guide for you in a second. Those are the things that you need to think about and consider. So if you have a campaign that's already in your mind, some parts of it will look the same. Maybe the color palette, maybe, I don't know, because of the logo. The brand identity, something that's authentic to the brand, but you're not there to duplicate an ad that already exists. We want you to think fresh, okay? Or pick an obscure brand, an obscure product, you know, okay? Pick something less renowned. Who else? Yeah.
I have just a question for, like, I know one was skateboard and one was shoes, and if, say, like, a company that specializes in skateboard had, like, skateboard shoes, could you, like, mix and match that campaign and mix the shoes and the skateboard because it's the same company?
Yeah, for sure. However, the parameters are pick one product.
Okay.
Now, what that means is if you have a pair of shoes and the shoes come in 17 different colors, no problem. Or if there used to be, I don't know why this crossed my mind, there used to be a company called Build-A-Bear.
Yeah.
Do you guys know that? Okay. And I think it was in a shopping mall. It's actually, might have been something that came out around the age of my daughter. And so if there's no real product, if Build-A-Bear is the product and every one that you build is custom, okay, so it might look really different. Or if your company is some product where it's customizable skateboards and everyone is different, or you send your family photo and they print it on a skateboard, right? Could you imagine how awful? I'm sorry, but there you know what I mean, like a mug. So in other words, the idea is find a real product. You don't have to go invent a product. You don't have to invent a company. You're going to start with a company, with a logo, with a product. Okay? So you're not going to advertise shoes and skateboard unless the shoes are glued on that perfect skateboard, right? Like snowboarding, snowboards that have the shoes on the snowboard, right? Okay. Other questions? Okay. So where we start with this is, and hopefully you're going to get all fueled by this, the first assignment that had shown up was to make a banner ad. Personally, I'm uncomfortable with that being your first assignment in relation to this. And the reason I'm uncomfortable with it is because I don't think a banner ad thinks through the expanse of an ad campaign. Because if our ad campaigns have a transit station ad, that would be like at a bus stop where they have the glass walls, and a highway billboard driving down the freeway, and a print ad campaign which includes a magazine ad that's in print and digital. Digital's easy. A trade show pull-up display, a point of purchase display. There's a typo. Point of purchase display, which would be something that might be at a counter, signage, or something like that, or you might develop a brochure or a hang tag or something that goes with a product, and then a marketing brochure. The web and banner ads, honestly, for me, they become the extension of the larger campaign that gets developed. When I meet with a client, I do client intake meetings, and we're going to try and talk about that together here today. And at that client intake meeting, I learn the questions to ask. I ask the questions I need in order to learn the information I need for my client. And that's the client intake meeting. That's the stuff that's going to go in your design brief. Such as, let's take an example and let's have the conversation together. Somebody throw out a company that might be brewing in your mind. Vans. Vans are tennis shoes, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Good suggestion. Okay, so Vans. So we're the ad agency. We go meet with Vans. We sit across the table from them, and what kinds of questions do we ask them?
What are your colors?
What's your colors? You have a color palette for your company, right? What's your logo? Supply us with your logo. Grab a logo that's a vector logo, because to scale it for a billboard, to make it for a little banner ad, you want it super large. You might have to redo their logo in order for it to be scalable for you. Okay, do they have a color palette? What other questions do you ask?
What are you guys' audience or?
Who's your audience? Who's your target market? Who are you trying to reach? Do you want, what's the age group? How much money do they have? Where do they get their money? Is it the parents buying kids shoes? Is it the parents buying shoes for themselves? Is it an extreme sports line? You're only having one product for Vans. So maybe Vans is launching their surf line of shoes for the summer, right? What does the merchandise line look like? Okay. And again, so we already know the markets we're going in. That's already been defined for you. You might decide whether the ad campaign, and think about this, just crossed my mind, is the ad campaign national or international? You know, if the ad campaign is, Vans doesn't fit very well. Oh, here, that's kind of silly. But Vans tennis shoes. What if it's a surf campaign that's launching a product that is called the Australian? Okay, it's their line of shoes called the Australian, and they're advertising it in the United States. And Australia, isn't that referred to as the Down Under?
Yes.
Okay. Land Down Under.
Yes.
Okay, so maybe the whole ad campaign's upside down, right? Or let's say it's your product is olive oil, and it's only from olives that were grown in the Tuscan region of Italy. So maybe your ad campaign that's in the United States is all written in Italian. Doesn't mean we're not going to get the idea that we got Italian olive oil, is it? With a photo of the bottle, right? So think about the product line and who's the target market and what's the scope of the ad. If it's a billboard, is the billboard on the Autobahn? Is it on the 101 freeway by the beach? What's the environment that we're going to put all of this in, okay? Think through these things. Put these things in your design brief. Even if it's your brainstorming, even if you're doing a stream of consciousness for yourself, put it in your design brief. Add it all there so you keep it in mind. What other questions would you ask? Let's take a look here. This will help you. Let's look at our design brief. In your design brief, there are parameters. So I clicked on, just so you know, I clicked here, I went and clicked on design brief, and here's links to different student design briefs. Sample design briefs. I'll let you look at those on your own. Here's a link to talking through design briefs, which is you need to do research for your product, your company, your logo, your brand, the number of stores, what the reach of it is going to be. If you're creating a magazine ad, is it a magazine ad that is for a chain of stores, or is it a magazine ad that each store that carries the Vans product puts their own logo on also? Do you know what I mean? Where Vans is supplying Nordstrom's with an ad. Here's our Vans new line, and then Nordstrom has a little area where they can brand it, found at Nordstrom's, exclusively at Nordstrom's or something. As you consider your design brief, what's the format? So as you go from large scale down to little mobile phone banner ads, obviously, if we start with a banner ad that's this big, that's going to sit on our phone, that's this deep, how do we know what the heck to put in there? That's why banner ads kind of bug me as our first thought for an ad campaign for a brand. Mostly all you can do is go grab a logo, put the color palette in there, and say, cool. Right? So what I want your design brief to be is also some brainstorming. This is going to be our first step in brainstorming ad campaigns without even worrying about what container they sit in. In other words, we can brainstorm an ad campaign for a magazine ad, which would play off well for a point of purchase display, which would play off well for a billboard. The hardest thing to do is to develop the campaign itself, the hook, what we like, what the graphics are, what we're considering, right? What the scale is and the relationships of the products and so forth. So that goes to format. As Lori said, who's our target audience? And then what I want you to do as part of your design brief is start brainstorming campaign ideas. Maybe it's headlines for the product, different images you can locate for the product, different images in relation to the product. You know, if it's the Vans shoe line that's for the land down under, then do you have Australian images? Do you have kangaroos? Do you have Aborigines? Do you have the Sydney Opera House, where your Vans are appropriate with a tuxedo, right? And you're walking into the opera. You have to understand, you really have to understand your product, and you have to find some hook that's going to be fun for you. The reason I want this campaign to be so extensive is when you're done, even if it's a little daunting for all of you, when you're done with this campaign and you walk out of here and you have this campaign, you're going to be able to show that you can accomplish anything professional, right? If you treat this campaign in a very professional way, you'll have an extensive portfolio to show of carrying through one brand and a concept in a variety of ways. That's my intention for you. Yeah.
So we would actually be able to have stuff like this in our portfolio, even though it's a logo and stuff.
Yeah, because it's a hypothetical thing. I mean, it was student work that you've created here. You can't say you're the ad agency for Vans. Right, but you sure can say that this is the extent of work I can do. Absolutely. Absolutely. That's the idea. The other thing is, as you develop your concept, think about if you have a new tagline. You know, the company may have a tagline, but maybe for this new product, you have a new tagline, right? You have a new hook. The other thing is, what's your budget? The sky's the limit for you guys, okay? Sky's the limit. You are budget free. So that means you can think of all different kinds of cool things to do. You know, maybe that means that if you have a brochure, you decide that you have a sculpted die-cut shoe coming out of your brochure, or your brochure gets folded and tied with shoelaces. Or Vans are slip-ons. They don't have shoelaces, do they? They do? Okay. Or you Velcro it if it's like Velcro shoes, right? But you get the idea. You have no limit, only the limit of your imagination. And how to execute it, I'll do my best to help you execute it as professionally as possible. So also when you walk out of here, you can potentially say to a client or to anybody, yes, I know how to pull that off and have it professionally printed at a print shop. I know how to set it up properly. That's how I want to help support all of you. This link, so let's come back here. So back to our main advertising series page. I'm going to let you click on the completed assignment. I think you all will be far more dazzling than these. I will tell you that. These I inherited as sample assignments. And it gives you an idea of the scope of, the sketching and the thumbnails. Actually, this is very nicely done. One, you can see one's a banner ad. You can see one might be a print ad or a billboard or something like that. If your strength, a lot of you, your strength seems to be Photoshop in here. A lot of you come with Photoshop skills. Okay, use photos. You don't have to do original illustrations if that's not your strength. If your strength is, decide what to do. Notice these all look really similar and they're just different variations in terms of proportions and scale, right? You can't tell here which one's a billboard, which one's a transit ad because these have been submitted like print-ready files. That's not how I'm going to have you submit them. You're going to submit them like those mobile phones on a mobile phone. You're going to print out your brochure. All these windows I've opened, so holy cow. Let me close them up here. Here's another one. Let's take a look at this one. Okay. What you're looking at here is how they started with a complete campaign and then moved down from their magazine ads to the banner ad. And you certainly can't start with a banner ad without knowing that's your full magazine ad, right? Which is why I don't like starting with a banner ad. That doesn't really work for me. And you can tell by the scale of what they're able to pull off. And mostly, I think you have to develop the most extreme part of the project in order to scale back and simplify to your banner ad and so forth, all right? For your design brief, which I want you to come in with on Thursday, at least a rough, I know, like as in day after tomorrow, okay? For your design brief, I want you to comb through here all these links that you see in front here. Comb through the ideas for developing concept. Let's see what this concept idea link is here. You already know how to do thumbnail sketches. We've already done that. That's not unfamiliar to you. You can read that for concept ideas. Here, this takes us back to thumbnail sketches. Let's see. Computer roughs. You know how to do those. Your design brief is going to evolve. It's going to get more extensive. Right here are links to how to create design briefs. You have to decide here. Let's go through this for your design brief. We've already talked about what your campaign is going to include. You're going to have project objectives, which we've already talked about. You're going to end up doing research on a company. You're going to understand delivering hierarchy of information. You're going to understand how different media, like a banner ad on your cell phone, compares to a billboard ad, which compares to the depth of, let's say, a brochure or magazine ad. Obviously, both a banner ad and a billboard ad are pretty similar. Why do you think they're pretty similar? Think how tiny one is and how huge one is. Yeah.
They got the same image.
Say that again.
They have the same image.
Yeah, they might have the same images. And what else happens when you're looking at a billboard and you're looking at a banner ad?
Something that far away and that big doesn't necessarily have to be perfect crisp resolution because you're viewing it from a distance, so maybe the resolution could possibly be...
No, the resolution has to be perfect and crisp because you're a perfect and crisp designer. How's that? Yeah.
You only see it briefly.
Yeah,
Like,
it's a
and
whoosh.
It just pops up.
Yeah.
The billboard, you just...
It's a whoosh. They're both a whoosh, meaning that banner ad's going to pop on your screen, quick glance. You're going to drive past the billboard, quick glance so you don't crash, right? And they're both little quickie things. So in that regard, you're going to have to execute one at the tiniest resolution, but you still have to execute the billboard at gigantic resolution and understand how to do that. And we'll dialogue with that. The idea also here, you're going to have different layouts for the same campaign, but the layout might be really similar. You know, if you've got a rectangular ad for an iPad banner ad, it might be similar to a billboard display, or how you reconfigure as you've done in the past with your sketches for your different layouts. One of the things you will decide is if you have a call to action. And simply, a call to action is, how are you going to get people to act regarding this product? Do you wish them to take a step, to call, to scan a QR code? Does everybody know what a QR code is? Who doesn't know what a QR code is? Okay, QR code, you know those little things? Let's just pull this up for you real easy. And you'll say, yeah, I know what it is. Yeah, you just didn't know what they're called. So a QR code is, you can download a QR code reader on your cell phone, hold your cell phone up to a QR code, and maybe that's your call to action of go to the QR code, which will take you to something digital like a website, and you can download a promo code. But they're making you take that action, one, to measure how quickly that advertising was read, so they can log it and track it. That's the purpose of a QR code, is logging and tracking them. And the call to action will help them know what source, by what code they give you or what code you apply as to your interaction with that advertising campaign. So you're going to decide if you're going to have a call to action as a part of your ad campaign, what unique selling proposition you have, what's your niche, what makes it unique, how are you going to brand this that makes you stand out from the rest. Generic branding, doesn't always do that, right? So you got to think about who your target market is and why you're going to approach the ad campaign that you are. And what I'd like for all of you to do is have multiple approaches to the ad campaign, multiple taglines that we can talk about, multiple ways of approaching the same project, not just one. Okay? We're going to stay in threes with everything. When in doubt, what does Vicki want? She wants at least 3, right? That'll help you. And not just 3 different layouts, but 3 different concepts. Again, so we're on to your design brief. What's it going to include? Your design brief's also going to include what's on your ads, like what's the text for your ads, what's the concept. Yeah.
Is it going to have all, so should all of the text we're going to use in the entire project be done?
In your first design brief?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's too overwhelming, I think. Don't you think so too?
Yeah.
I do too. That's why I said, how I said your design brief's going to kind of evolve? It's going to evolve. So what I want you to come with on Thursday is this. Let me just be specific. I want you to do the maximum you can do at this moment with your design brief. Just start thinking it through, start doing research, start developing ideas and concepts. You don't necessarily have to sketch out anything for Thursday's design brief. Mostly, we're going to talk about what product you've chosen, who the target market is, things that you need to consider, okay? Ultimately, we're going to have like 2 levels of design briefs. You're going to then start your design brief, we're going to take it further, and you're going to keep updating it, okay? Where then you'll take your design brief further and you'll start to experiment with layouts and typefaces and your ad concepts and ad images that you locate, and you're going to start to develop it further. By Thursday, I want you all to walk in here with knowing your product, having your product approved, understanding the target market, doing research of what might already exist, grabbing the product so we can see it, so we start the dialogue. Okay? Does everybody get that? That's Thursday, everybody. Take it as far as you can get it, because it's going to grow. It's like Brooks asked, are we going to be able to include everything? No, we're in week 7 and we have 9 more weeks of school. It's going to unfold as we move project to project. This will get us started. This will be focused very much on the company. Okay? I know there's a lot for you to read here. I don't really want to list what I know you can read. We're going to start to look at images you can grab for your projects. Let me use this Vans idea of Australian Vans, right? I can go to different stock sites. Some are listed here where you can grab some stock images to use for your ad campaign. Some are free, some you got to pay for. There's lots of websites, and maybe John will help write this down for me and we can put it on the Q&A and I'll add it to this webpage, which is, I always search for public domain high resolution images.
I have hundreds of those indexed.
Do you?
Yeah.
Can you link
Whether
for
it's-
us?
Yeah, I will.
Okay.
Especially free.
Yeah. I think I showed you in my Google Drive how I have public domain images. There's a website that has the most beautiful high resolution images. And what I'd probably do if I were you and I were poor is I would look at these images and see what inspires me to use. The other thing is some of you are probably breathtaking photographers or quirky photographers, like funky, weird stuff you photograph. Think about what you have in your own photo archives that you could build a campaign around. Maybe if Vans is the shoe line that you want and you have all kinds of silly photos of you and your friends, right? Maybe you get permission that you build an ad campaign around those photos if it promotes your product, right? If it makes sense to your brand. Maybe your brand is Vans, you know, lets you kick back and relax, and your entire ad campaign is different people with their feet up. Feet up on a desk, feet up on the beach, feet up on the wall in yoga, feet up, right? I mean, you get the idea? Figure out what's going to make this fly for you to be successful, because nobody can come back in here and say, I couldn't find images or I couldn't find resources, because when I meet with my clients, they don't give me the stuff. They rely on me to create it for them. And then they get to yay or nay it, right? And then they need to buy into it, not because I talk them into it, but because they get excited and it feels authentic for the brand. So you have to, in your design brief, decide what's authentic for the brand. Anything else? Yeah.
I just have a quick question
Yeah.
about fonts and type. So because like you said that we'd be able to have this ready for our portfolio, so you can find free fonts, but they'll say only for personal use.
Yeah.
So under that, would that still be okay to use
Yeah.
on portfolio?
Yeah, your portfolio. Yeah. Nobody's paying you to do this.
Yeah.
So that wouldn't be considered professional. So yeah, it's a good question. If you find free fonts, you know, and we've already had the conversation in there to how to assure yourself that those fonts translate well by converting the headlines to outline and stuff like that. Yeah. Yeah.
Can we advertise for like an event or a restaurant or something, or is it just
Product.
specifically a product?
Product based. Very product based. For sure. Right. And all the campaign, the whole campaign is around that one product. Like I said, the product might have multiple colors, or the product might change, that product line might change, but it's really one product. You know, like if you have a pair of shoes, they might come in 4 different colors or something.
Can you like make up a product?
No. Cannot make up a product.
Okay, so for instance, a pair of shoes, can I make up, oh, we have a guest designer that's going to come and design these shoes. And like, let's say that I'm making it up, so it's going to be one of those campaigns where it's just like, soon, coming soon, or like you can't see the product.
Oh, I understand what you're saying. So it's you're unveiling a new product and we can't see it. What do you guys think about that?
You have to have good, strong concepts in your ads to advertise something you're not showing yet.
Well, that's true. That is true.
So that would be a challenge, I think.
Well, yeah, but is that a fair approach to do? Let's stick with products that exist.
Okay.
Let's stick with products that exist.
Can we like make up names and stuff for like
Yeah.
the product?
Yeah, I think so.
itself?
Oh, for sure.
Kind of like you said, the Australian.
Yeah, go ahead. That's fine. Yeah, that's okay. But, you know, for example, you'll be able to see a Vans shoe, and you'll be able to see the Vans logo on the Vans shoe, and maybe that's all you need for your campaign, and then, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I want you to have a product that exists to that company.
Yeah.
Okay. I think it'll make it easier. I think sometimes when you have more constraints, you might feel constrained, but actually that's not true. Sometimes easier to work with when you know what the parameters are. More to go with that? Okay. This will morph. Here's the design brief rubric. Here's all the points that you need to hit on for your rubric. The rubric that you present on Thursday is probably going to morph and have more added to it. You already know that, right? We've already said that. So bring it as far along as you can, and that'll get you started, I think. And each segment of this ad campaign will have its own design brief to go with it. In other words, the banner ads, you'd have to have parameter descriptions of these were the requirements. This is why I went with this. You know what I mean? So your design brief is just going to grow as your line of benchmark products, benchmark advertising grows.
Do we include the process in the design brief?
To include the process in the design brief, I am somebody who loves process. So if you can capture your process, I think, here's a better question to ask. As a class, when we were sharing our mobile designs, our mobile game designs, and you got to see other people's process, how did you guys feel about it? It's good.
Just like cleared the air on their path and like kind of showed
Right.
different.
Right.
examples.
I'd like to think of this class as, I think you probably already can tell. This class is like a sanctuary to help support you to think through how to be better designers or more creative thinkers. So I think sharing our process with one another instead of thinking we always have to deliver the perfect polished something. Okay, your final submission, perfect polish, sure. But your process, I'm all about the process. So I think capture it because you can share it, right? You can't lose. It's one extra step to just add some things in there for conversation.
Are there going to be any video ads?
Any video ads? What a beautiful question to ask. I don't think so. Do you want one?
Yeah.
You do?
Maybe.
Maybe. Who would want a video ad in here? Raise your hands. Let me see. Okay, a few of you. A few of you like the challenge. Okay, well, let's do this. We're already a week behind in this class anyway, at least a week behind, I know. Or at least from where we would be if we were an online class. So let's see how we move by the end of the semester. And if we're just kind of hanging out at the end of the semester, which I have a feeling we won't be, but if we are, then that would be really fun to do. And what the heck, why not, right? So, but it's, I think it's a much bigger project than we can handle. I think when you guys get into your brochures, I think you guys might drown a bit in those brochures, to be quite honest with you. Also, as I'm talking about the brochure, so that's the answer to that question. We'll see how it goes at the end of the semester. As for the brochure, look on the websites of the products that you choose and see where you can get content for your brochures. They might not be product heavy or they might be product heavy, so see where you can grab that information to help you know your product too, okay? All right, that's probably enough about that, yeah, for the moment? Okay, so I expect all of you to come on Thursday with the beginning of a design brief and about as thorough as you can possibly get, as much under your belt as possible, okay? And grab images because, a picture's worth a couple words anyway. Okay, so where I'd like to go is not the concepts in advertising, but in here, in our design archives. And I think that these design archives are going to serve as support for us to come up with some brainstorming ideas for products, right? And to think a little bit creatively. So who'd like to we're just going to use the rest of the class time for the moment
So
to...
is this the one that had the jellies up there?
The one with the jellies, you gave me an analysis of an ad. You can pick whichever one you want to talk about, to tell you the truth. The design archive was 5 ads where the product was not shown in the ad, where it was not the hero of the ad. Okay, so who doesn't come up often? Back there. I'm looking at who's posted here. And if you haven't posted yet and you want to, oh, is Rachel here today? She's not here
So
today.
it's design archive 3?
I'm sorry?
Which?
Yes, 3. Yes, 3. Yes. So, yeah, you can upload. All right, well, we're just going to go down the list. Okay, we're going to start with Emily. Okay.
I think I kind of messed up this assignment. I think I had some of like a little bit wrong with the product.
Well, come on up and we'll talk about it. It's okay.
What's that?
I did it at 2 in the morning. Yeah, so they're pretty tall at least.
Okay, well then let's talk about it. So you guys keep up here. I think some of you might be uploading your ads or something. Is that what you're doing?
Yep.
Okay. So let's take a look and let's talk about what makes an ad successful. And I figure that most of you guys pull these ads because you love them more than anything. Is that why?
They're cool.
That they're cool, right? Like in other words, they spark something in you. So when you're up here, just come on up and share with us what it was that drew your attention to the ad and what you think is successful about it. And if you're sitting back there, focus your attention up here. And if there's something you observe about what you think makes the ad successful, just speak out about your observations about it.
Yeah, so this ad, I just thought was cool because it was black and white and like they had the highlighter draw the lines in the road and it said never get lost. The highlighter was like guiding the way.
Okay, can you hang on a second?
Yeah.
Okay, so raise your hand if you think you could pull off that ad today. Raise it high. Okay, so Chris, describe how you pull that ad off today. Where would you get your resources and what software would you use to build it?
It would really depend on my budget. If this company would allow me to take some time and money and develop my own content as far as photography is concerned, I'd probably try and take my own pictures. But from a software background, I'd probably take the image and then I would have a very high-res image of the marker that I would shoot on a white background, with proper lighting. I'm pretty much assuming that this is just a really good image of the marker taken and cropped and then put on top of a black and white image that was either taken or sourced from online. And then the white strip looks like either a brush, either done in some form of software. I would probably do it as a brush, and then find some pretty cool yellow type that goes with the yellow marker as well.
Okay, that's great. That's exactly what I was looking for.
Cool.
It was like, what did she want me to say? It's exactly it. So you find a stock image of a city. It's probably in full color. It's probably high resolution, and you convert it to black and white in Photoshop. Is there anybody in here who wouldn't know how to convert it in Photoshop to black and white? Okay. We could demo building some ads just so you guys get a feel for it if you're not good at the software. High resolution means the image is 300 pixels per inch and huge. So huge to me means if you're searching on the internet for an image, you're searching for something. You search by size, and you search for the absolute largest possible, okay? And so you convert that to grayscale. Chris is probably right. You find some photo of the marker, or you take it yourself with your iPhone. You bring it into Photo, you shoot it on white paper, you bring it into Photoshop, you get rid of all the background. You don't have to draw that. You go into probably Illustrator or Photoshop, and you draw this line. And maybe you draw a rectangle, you fill the rectangle with a texture, you go to the perspective transform tool and you pinch it tighter here and a little wider here and you create perspective. You change that texture from black to yellow by, in Photoshop, changing your color saturation, maybe. Or in Illustrator, you draw a yellow line that has a brush of texture. You find the logo is high resolution and make sure it's clean. And you put your tagline here, and you find, like the fonts that Roxanne was asking us about, you find a font that you like, and typeset it, convert it to outline, and make it yellow to match the marker, to match that, and you have a limited color palette, right? So you realize it's not a difficult ad. I think for anybody in here, all of you can already, with all the work you did in your mobile game design, I think you already all know that you have the skill to pull this off. What you realize now is it's all about concept. which is why I want us to spend some time on really thinking through our concepts. Because once you got your concept, and once you design your concept at the highest resolution you could possibly conceive of for a billboard ad or a pull-up display or a magazine ad, then everything else is going to be smaller and everything's going to look great. Everybody gets that? All right. And stop me if you want to have a different conversation or have more questions. Okay, keep going. You're doing great.
So I remember now that when I was doing this design archive, I remembered I thought that you said you wanted the product in a creative way. So all of mine are
That's okay.
kind of
You're doing
off.
great.
Okay.
That's fine. That's all fine.
So this one I thought was clever. They had like a wrench in the shadows, like a dinosaur, saying that unofficial service can be dangerous.
Okay, so
It's
sit tight a second. So, Miles, how would you pull that off, knowing what you know about software? Because software is new for you right now, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So how do you think you'd pull that off?
You get a dinosaur, you make it into the shadow, shadow of the dinosaur, and put it to like the base of the layout, and then get that wrench, and then drop it over it and try to match it to make it seem as if it matches the teeth.
Okay.
Afterwards.
Could you see yourself doing it, pulling it off?
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. Okay.
Put a black outline around the words so you can actually read them.
What did you say? Oh, yeah, exactly. Yes. Move the highlight. Move the, is that what you said? Yeah.
I have no idea what the last 3 words of the thing say. Like I can guess, but
Oh, and the tagline? Yeah. Yeah. I'm with you. Okay, keep going, Emily. Sorry.
That's okay. I don't even know what this was for, but I thought it was cool.
it's
I looked
a
up
reading club.
Oh, okay.
It's like different books you can borrow and things. So
Because I linked the website and it was like to some foreign website, so yeah. So apparently it's a book club.
So imagine you guys have, so think about this. So imagine you have this concept, right, for a product. And you could pull this off with your friends and your iPhone. Yeah? Really?
Good lighting. Yeah, I was gonna say you have to be in a really well lit place.
Yeah, you do have to be in a well-lit place. And actually the well-lit place is usually just shade with a white seamless behind. Interestingly, you can pull off many miracles that way. That's what I find. When I photograph products, shade. When I photograph products, I'll get a piece of white paper as large as I could possibly imagine, create a sweep against the wall on the ground, like sweep meaning wall to ground. And whatever product I put down there, I make sure there's no cast shadow coming over it, which is why shade is good, nothing, no sun coming behind. And I photograph it, and you can't believe how beautiful the light is. It's like you perfectly lit something. So just keep that in mind as you photograph anything, even your folded brochures, when you're totally done with us. So
How do you light it?
you don't need it lit. It
Where's
is
the
lit.
light coming from?
Natural daylight.
But out of which way?
It doesn't matter because you're in the shade. You're not going to have daylight. You're not going to have anything coming over your shoulder, which is why you eliminate weird
So
shadows.
it's kind of just like even light in the room.
It's even light. Not in the room. Outside shade.
Okay.
Yeah.
Outside shade, yeah.
Outside shade. Yep. Okay.
I thought this was a clever ad. It was like talking about if you don't use Glad cling wrap, your watermelons are probably gonna taste like other things in your fridge, and it looks like it's meat, which is kind of disgusting. but
It is disgusting.
It's like a good ad. I mean,
It's a
makes you
great
wanna-
ad. Right.
it.
Draws your
Yeah.
attention.
Yeah.
Right.
So I think that'd be pretty easy to pull off too. And this one was saying that 1.5 million children die every year from drinking polluted water, and it was like a play on words with the water looking like an atom bomb. So it was interesting.
Yeah, it is. And powerful.
Yeah.
Notice they all tend to have limited color palettes also.
I think that's it.
Okay, that's great. Thank you for sharing that. That's great. Okay. Who's after Emily? You don't want it? Yeah, come on up. It's helpful to look at these and think about them together and break them apart, right?
Okay. I don't know how well you can read the taglines, but this is toys should live forever. So it's like the skeleton of this like robot toy, and like other people, I had the product in the ad, but it's like kind of tiny. It's like it's the backdrop to the actual ad, and I really like this. It's kind of like creepy but cute.
It's a zombie toy.
Yeah, it's a zombie toy.
Yeah.
It lives on forever.
And it's a Duracell ad. Can you see the
Oh, yeah.
battery?
Yeah, there's like a little battery here.
Yeah.
Sorry, some of these are like really small. And then this one is it's an ad for Scrabble. It's a visual play on words. It's kind of cheesy, but I still really liked it. I just like the photo manipulation of like the crowbar coming out of the crow.
Oh, crow. There you go.
Yeah. And the tagline says "The power of words," and it's Scrabble.
It's great.
And
Can you go back to that second?
which one? This one?
I just want to speak enthusiastically about being clever. And wouldn't it be exciting if your graphic that you use in your ads is clever? Like, wouldn't you feel proud about that, right? So, we can all help each other be clever, right? Yeah? Okay.
And I actually cannot read the tagline for this, but it's an ad for a furniture store. So instead of moving around your furniture all the time, you should just go out and buy new furniture instead. So it's like the outline of a rug or something. So like this is the old furniture that you've moved around so much, and the outline is like where new furniture is supposed to be.
Do you guys get that?
Like, I see what they're trying to do. They say like you're gonna make so many scratches in your floor if you're moving around so much, but they kind of messed up because the scratches look cool.
Yeah, I know. They
It
do
looks
look
like
kind
they're
of
getting
cool.
ready to summon something.
Maybe that's what it was. I was like, oh, maybe it's a horoscope, or maybe it's like, you know, it's got a symbol where they're going to land from the spaceship, or it's petroglyph, or, yeah, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, sometimes concepts they get like too far, and like it's not for everybody. And this one is an ad for a sale in some kind of like Nordstrom type store, but it's like all these people like fighting each other for the coat that's on sale. It's really dramatic.
You know, I have to interject something here. So look at all these people jumping and leaping and clamoring for the sale or the product or something like that. Before digital advertising, there were photographers who would set this kind of thing up. Has anybody ever seen those from long ago? I worked with a photographer whose whole style was stuff like this, like the wind blowing in your face and your body being thrown back and stuff like that. So this is done digitally, but they used to suspend people from different positions and set it up to look like this action shot, which is super cool, right?
That's interesting because now it's just so easy. It's just like somebody jumps up in the air, you take the background out, and then you just put them on here.
Exactly. Exactly. That's what I see when I see stuff like that. Like what happened to the olden days when it was hard?
Ever see the Salvador Dali one where it's him jumping while painting, someone's throwing 3 cats and a bucket of water through the air?
No, I have not.
That portrait is really good.
Can you Google it for us,
it's like
please?
with Salvador Dali. What, like cats?
Water cat jumping got it for me. Yeah.
Like it's big enough.
Oh my
yes.
gosh. Oh, capturing that, right?
So good.
Right, that's exactly my point. It's exactly it. That's incredible. And then there should be a disclaimer at the bottom. No animals were harmed in the making of this photograph, right?
Well, it's cats. They'll land on their feet every time, so. Yeah.
No, I have never seen that.
And this is an ad for a car with like this new feature with the rear view camera, and it says "Stop guessing," and it's part of it was part of a series. This one is a tree covering the guy's eyes. Another one is like a fire hydrant has like the little tubes covering another person's eyes.
That's cool. Very cool. Is it all done?
Yeah, that's all I
great.
have.
That's great. That's great. All really good examples of no product, right?
Like there was a battery in one of them,
Yeah.
and then there was like the coat, but it was more like an ad for the sale than it was for just the singular coat.
Right. That's great. Okay, who's coming up now? Okay, you over your mouth. Thanks for volunteering.
This is for the no product shown or the okay.
No product.
I think it starts here. Wait, no, this is the product. So here. So this is a series of print ads for IBM. And every single one of them is hiding something. It's like has two meanings, and it all plays with negative space and colors and stuff. Also, the color palette is also very limited in each of them. You can see here they use just this dark blue and then the yellow that they put in the planet here, and then one word, and then the yolk of the egg. Do you see it's like an egg, but at the same time it's an astronaut?
Right.
Here it's like, do you see the face? And it says light bulb and penguin. And I'm not completely sure what the this campaign was for. I think it was for some kind of like environment something, I don't know, but yeah, I thought it was cool. And it's all probably Illustrator, right? Illustrations.
Yeah, I would think they're all Illustrator, and if you're an Illustrator whiz and that's where you want to land with it, think about it, right?
Mhm.
You know, use your strengths, or get new strengths, right? Tackle something you haven't done before.
No, I thought this one was very clever. It's for a USB company called SanDisk, and they show like big things and then a small thing like how to put this gigantic boat into a bottle. Have you seen these little boats and they put inside bottles? It's like you can, put a lot of things into a USB. I don't know. I think that was cool. Yeah. And they have different ones with different colors and stuff, also kind of like this ones. Then this is for illustrations that I found for like movies. Very simple, but just by showing, things are very, what movies they are, right? All of them.
So
or TV
it's
shows.
about looking at the costumes to figure out what the movie is. You don't
Yeah.
need the people,
Mm-hmm.
just the characterization.
Mm-hmm. That shows how important it is when you pick the costumes or whatever in the movie, because if they're really good, they're very epic, and then you remember them. So.
I talked to somebody yesterday from Fargo,
The show or the movie?
from the town.
Oh.
and that's exactly it. I talked to somebody yesterday from Fargo, and I just had to keep my mouth shut without making wood chipper jokes. Does everybody know the Fargo movie with the wood chipper, right?
Yeah.
I mean, or just speaking slowly to them, right? I thought it's true. It's back.
Uh-huh.
It's back to exactly the point you're making.
Well, this is also for the IBM campaign. They use the campaign to, they did ads that could help the communities and stuff, and they did this one, you can just cover yourself from the rain, or they did like a ramp. Also, there were some stairs, and they put a ramp made of like this metal or whatever this is, which I thought it was cool. And then this one is for BMW. No, what do you call it? BMW.
Yeah. No, VW.
No, yeah.
VW.
The message. At first, I didn't get it. I had to read the. Here, I don't know. You can see it now. It says, "Park."
Precision parking.
Yeah, Park Assist by Volkswagen. Precision parking. Yeah, which is like the what do you call this?
Those-
Hedgehog.
Well, yeah, it is a hedgehog. You're right. Yes. No, porcupine.
It's like trying
Porcupine.
to sit between the two butts of fish.
Which is really funny. That's like the ad for cars now that have that backup camera, so you don't grab things, right? Or you don't hit things, I should say. Yeah. Yeah, that's very funny. It's
Mhm.
entertaining. Volkswagen's going to need a lot better ads nowadays, aren't they? Does everybody know how much trouble they're in?
Yeah.
Yeah? Anybody not? No?
What exactly do they do?
They lied about their fuel economy.
Well, no, they didn't just lie about
They
it.
hacked the software.
Their software was specifically designed to cheat the emissions test.
There you go.
Why did they do that for?
Why did they do it?
Because they wanna
Because
sell
they
cars.
could sell more cars as more fuel efficient. And now people who have those cars, which they purchase under erroneous information, now you wonder what the sellability of that car is.
They can't register them in California.
Can't even buy 'em.
Yeah, sales are frozen, and if you have one, you can't register it.
Yeah, so now you need more than a porcupine for your advertising. You probably need, each page you open needs like $1,000 bill there, or a $2,000 bill there or something,
People are.
right? Yeah.
They're probably going to just do a massive recall and try to fix everything, but just probably at the cost of like fuel economy. So
Big deal. That's a fun ad.
Way up stuff.
This
Oh,
one.
and what's
You see
that? What's the,
It's really small.
what
Sorry.
does it say?
It says get them off your dog. The text,
Yeah.
So they put this gigantic image of a dog scratching himself, and you see the people walking over him, and they look like ticks from up there.
Oh, it's on the floor of a building.
Yeah.
So that
a
people
building.
are walking. So can you guys all get that? It's an aerial view. It took me a while. Thanks for explaining it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So yeah, you don't show the product, but you show what
Do
the
you guys
product
want
does.
an ad like that? An aerial view ad to be part of our campaign?
That'd be cool.
Only if we have to
Interactive
print
ad?
it.
Only if you have to print it, right? What's that?
So it's like an interactive ad, sort of?
It's an
Mhm.
interactive ad.
Yeah.
Without people, the dog's healthy.
Yeah.
Once
Well,
work
he's still
starts at
scratching
8 a.m.
himself.
and people go into the office building and walk on the floor to get the escalator or stairs, that's really cool.
Mhm.
Really cool.
This. This thought it was playful. I don't know where this stops. I think. What is it? Okay, yeah. This was a series of ads for McDonald's, and it's like for kids and stuff. And I wasn't sure. Does Mario like always tries? No, he tries to get money, not stars, right? Or like.
There's the
Yeah,
coins.
stars are good. Yeah.
But stars give you like
You like stars.
Okay, so yeah, so it's like, I don't know. Just
So
fun.
it's a game ad. It's
Uh,
a Mario Brothers ad.
it's for McDonald's.
You know, I understand, but it's
Oh.
using Mario Brothers as
Yeah.
the.
Yeah.
Got it.
It looks really like a weird stylized version of it.
Enough to not be copyright
Like-
infringement.
Yeah, like they didn't have the rights to use it, so they
They just show. That could be. I don't know. Do you think they have to pay copyright for this?
I don't know. I don't know. Probably. Probably would be my guess.
I show more than 5, right? Maybe I didn't start in the right ad. I started
That's
with from
okay.
the.
More is not a bad thing.
Okay. This is for an ad for Star Wars the movie. So I thought it was just clever to use the light bars as a, like lightsabers, and they just 3 for the episode 3. You see it? Yeah.
Yes. That's
Yeah.
clever. I was thinking it's like Lori wants to have a product ad without a product. We're unveiling this, right? Here's our lights and
That's it.
okay, thank you. Did you take that?
It was a really long time ago I played skateboard.
So the first ad I chose is by this company called ESCOM. I looked it up online, and I think they're a German group who make light bulbs and tube lights, and this is something very clever, I thought. You know, there's a huge billboard and there's light only on one side, and it says use electricity wisely. And you don't have to say anything more, you know, it says it all.
Right, it's all there. Hang on a second for that. So when you show your billboard ads that you design, you will display them on a billboard like this. You all get that idea, right?
And I also thought it's just not for the billboard, it could be used for a magazine too.
Right.
Just print this.
Print it exactly how it is
Yeah.
and put it there, yes,
Yeah.
because it hits home. True, that's right.
The next was this by Garnier Fructus. So when you look at it, when I looked at it first, I thought there was this guy with really long beard hair. But when you look closely, it's actually a girl, you know, standing.
Wait, it's actually a girl standing there?
Yeah.
In front of him.
Yeah, I mean,
Oh,
the-
he's got his head like in. Okay, I was like, no, it's his head.
yeah,
That's
it's
really
actually
clever.
hair of a girl leaning against the boy. So, I thought that was cool.
And it
Um,
gets you to look.
Yeah,
So
it does. Yeah.
That's the point.
Yeah.
It grabs you.
And then this is by Penguin. Again, you know, it's just headphones, and I think that's Shakespeare. And Penguin is a publishing company, and it just tells you that, you know, they've started with audiobooks now. So that's all it is. And they have a series like this with a lot of writers.
And they characterize them.
Yeah.
That is so funny.
Similar thing that I found was by this.
You go backwards a second, please.
Yeah.
So, one of the classes I teach is the last class you take in the graphic design program, which is portfolio. And what I find are, through the semester, a lot of students will do digital imaging as one of their classes. Has anybody taken that class in here?
I have.
It's where you're in Photoshop and you meld images, kind of like this. You'll create fantastic fantasy kind of images. And being able to give it a purpose as a magazine ad, as a billboard, something like that, shows your marketability professionally. So I just want to call attention to that when you realize how successful things are. You know, think of your strengths and how you make them marketable.
And something similar that I found, I thought I should put it here. So there's a bookstore called Crosswords. This is, I think it's India based. So they started with audiobooks, and this is a book, and it's actually lips. So, you know, your book reads to you or something like that.
Or you love reading.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Right? Beautiful.
Then this one was by Garmin. And I really like the illustration, and the tagline says, "Traffic signals suck, avoid them with fastest route." That's all it says. And
Traffic signals suck, avoid
them with fastest route.
Oh. Yeah.
So Garmin is GPS.
Yeah.
So this guy's like getting late for his flight, and
It doesn't look like an American ad.
yeah, it's not. I think it's India based again, because traffic police looks like this there. Yeah.
Okay, I was wondering who the guy was.
Yeah.
I was like,
So it's very common to get stuck there in traffic.
Is
and
it?
Yeah, it's very common. And yeah, so I think that it's more country relevant, I'm guessing. Yeah.
Well, we get the idea.
Yeah.
We've missed our flights before, right?
Mhm.
So, great.
This one has a product, but still it's not, you know, like out there. FedEx, and this is my favorite in this design archive, I think. So there's the map of the world, and these two windows, and these guys are just sending out the package. So, and the ad is for FedEx Express. It's that fast. It just
Right.
tells you.
And it makes the world feel like your next door neighbor.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. This one I found online. I've never heard of this brand. It's Chic Razors, and it's an entire series. And I thought it was really funny. So you have to look really close.
That's really funny.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's
And
really funny.
do you want to see the series? It's really funny. So this, then there's this.
Oh, I like that one.
Then there's this. I thought these were really funny. Yeah.
So what these ads point to for me, for all of you, is really talking out loud. I always say, you know, when people talk about the creative process, I always say the first thing I do is I talk to myself out loud. Like, what am I trying to say? What's the point of the product? Well, FedEx is bringing the world together. You know, shaving something is making it naked or bare or removing. And part of your design brief, I think that we pointed out today, is that you develop key words, key adjectives to help develop your slogan. So talk out loud to yourself. You know, I don't know how many of you drive to campus, but I am forever recording things on my phone. Like, as I'm thinking of stuff and I want to remember, I'll turn my voice memo on, or I'll call myself and leave a voice message so I don't forget. And I'll just talk out loud, and I'll just create a stream of consciousness. Because when you start creating that stream of consciousness, just like thumbnail sketching and scribbling, you start to create a dialogue that your concepts come from. Because if you go back, even to, if you remember the FedEx, you don't need to go back. If you remember the FedEx ad, it wouldn't be hard for any of us to grab stock photos of windows, right? Wouldn't be hard for any of us to do that. And wouldn't be hard for us to get a map and add a texture to it. So again, it's all about your concept and the cleverness of your concept. And that comes from just brainstorming and talking out loud. And you can't expect to do it alone, which is why we need to bring it back here and talk it through. Yeah? These were great. These were great, Anuja. Thank you.
Just one more.
One more?
Yeah, I put in 7 minutes. I think this is really common, and
Oh, there you
so
go.
it's really quick.
Yeah, it's really cute.
Yeah.
So it catches your spill in mid-spill.
Mm-hmm.
That's good. That's good. It could be the razor blade ad too.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Okay, who's coming up next? You stuck yours up there. Yeah.
Yeah, sure. I didn't write a lot of mine though.
You did what?
I didn't write a lot of mine.
That's
I just
okay.
had the images.
Share
Yeah, so this is the first one. I really like environmental ads that kind of like interact with the environment you're like in. So like this is a staircase, and it's like for the American Disabilities Association, and the tagline is, "For some, it's Mount Everest." So yeah, and then yeah, so they want more like handicap ramps around.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Did, without knowing who the organization was for, did you all understand the meaning of the ad? Yeah.
Yeah. I was about to take the, when I was looking through these, I was going to take the one that Guillermo had as well, with the dog. Because, like, I don't know, it's very, like, innovative and interactive in some weird way. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I know what you mean.
This one's really sad. It's 2 cups, where there's a dad cup and a mum cup. And the mum cup is broken, and it's for Citizens Against Spouse Abuse. Yeah, it's very sad. Let's go on to the next one. Okay, this one is for exhibition at the Vancouver Aquarium. It's for like Frogs Forever exhibit. I didn't really get it, but I think it's an exhibit about frogs.
Well, if frogs were extinct.
Yeah, so if frogs go extinct, you'll notice. Yeah.
Right, right.
That's the tagline.
Yeah.
And then there's a bunch of flies everywhere.
Right.
Which is, yeah. I thought it was pretty disgusting, so
Yeah.
I had to have it in there.
Right. Kind of wonderfully disgusting. In a
Yeah.
sense. Yeah.
That's the Volkswagen ad.
Oh yeah.
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 And here's a Lotto ad. I really like this one because it was part of a. What you call it? There was a bunch of them. So like there was.
A series. Of
Yeah,
them?
a series of them. I didn't add the link, which I realized I probably should because they were really cool.
They were fun.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. How many of you guys want to trade your office chair in for a loan? Yeah.
Yeah. It hasn't got a tagline, which I really like.
Yeah.
Since it's like it's quite obvious that if you win on the lotto, you just
Right.
go do awesome shit.
That's great.
Yeah.
Is that them?
Yeah.
That's great. Oh, they're all great. Miles, do you have any up there?
Yeah.
Okay, come on up.
Right, just go. This isn't me.
So if you go back to history, use history. That'll be your easiest. And go back to yeah. Nice work.
I don't see my name on
Love it.
Did you put it on this page?
I think I did on the second one.
Okay, so go back to so hit fall, yeah. There you go. And then you can go find it, or you can go to forums, whichever one's easier. So on the left you go to activities. Do you see where it says activities on the left on the side? There's a sidebar, it turns sideways in black.
This
Black with white type. Go up a little, I think that says activities. Go to your
Oh,
left,
all the way
go to
to
your
the
left.
Oh, all the way to the left.
See where it says
Okay.
activities?
Yeah, I see it.
Okay, go to forums. There you go.
I was so confused just now.
That's okay. It's also confusing when you sit in front of people.
It's true. Here we are. Here I am.
There you go. No, not your name.
Oh, you're right.
Go backwards. Back your way.
Yes.
There you go. So you can create a link in the forum by typing words and then creating a chain link, and it'll take us to the page
Okay.
without having to do this.
So this is going to take a minute.
Oh, did you put them in a document?
In the
You
Google
built it
Drive.
into a document? Oh, it's on a Google Drive.
Yeah, and I just
So do
sent
you know
it.
how to get to your Google Drive here?
Yeah. Yeah, I can just get my
Because
Google
I can
Drive.
see this is going to take forever downloading. I'm not sure why. So create a new page and take us to your Google Drive. Which drive are we on?
John.
That's John's drive.
Sign out.
How did I get in there?
That was the last drive we were on. So you can sign him out. And you can sign you in.
Where's the...
So is Design Archive it?
No.
No?
It's a different one. These are just photos that I liked. This might be it.
Are those the ones?
Yeah, this is it.
Okay. He's got them.
So I'm supposed to stand up and tell everybody what's going on. All right.
So you built them in a document. Okay, good. All right. So tell us what
So I was checking out a bunch of different advertisements, and this first one, as you can see, they had a photographer like get up on the second floor or something, and had the guy like lay in the middle of the street. Thought that was pretty innovative, using like that, how the street kind of looks like a ramp and stuff. It's pretty cool, like that. Converse using the shoelaces to make the skateboard to show that you can skate in them, not just rock them. I thought that was pretty cool too.
That's cool. That's actually laying good groundwork for our 2 projects.
I thought this bus was pretty cool. If I saw that going by, it's cool to see. Zoo with bus.
For the zoo, yep. Yeah.
That makes it look like the snake's wrapping it up. It's like hand with the tree saying humanity and nature are one. Thought that was good advertisement. And then preserve your world, preserve yourself. And it has like yourself.
What is it in there?
It's like a person with a hand.
Oh, the face. I see the face. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's great. World Wildlife Fund.
Yeah.
Beautiful. You got beautiful ones. Great. Down the row, you guys? Are you guys?
I will in 1 sec.
1 sec. Okay, so Paul, that puts you at that end of that row. Is it helpful seeing what people have? Yes. Because you guys wouldn't do this on your own time, would you? Not really. Okay.
I do it on my own.
Do you?
Yeah, so it's like just looking all over again. So it's kind of boring, to be honest.
Yeah.
Seeing all again.
Wait, no, you were talking about 3, right?
3.
I have the ones from. I don't know where it starts. These are the second. I think these now. 5 down. We get 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so that's these ones. So I have this lion one where he's.
Got pretty hair.
Yeah, his mane's all nice and I don't know, shampoo-y.
He looks fabulous.
Yeah. It looks weird because it's like such a 70s kind of hairstyle. Yeah.
Yeah.
Alright.
Yeah.
And I got the coffee beans in the shape of a Coke bottle, so it's kind of like subliminal.
Right. Well, and
So
it's called Coke Black, so it means they're
Was it like a higher caffeine Coke thing that they did?
maybe
Yeah. It looked like it was foreign too, so I don't know, but
looked like it was.
like it was like a foreign ad. I think the other one was like, or somebody who's the person who was making it seemed like they were foreign because it wasn't like, I don't think this was a legit ad. It was, or it could have been. It was this guy. He had like a couple of different like designs that he had, but it didn't look like they were like.
But you like the concept.
Yeah, well, because the thing was to, what was the idea again? It was to, for this one, it was you have to get an ad without the product. So technically, I mean, it almost looks like the product's in here, but it's not. This one is a workout thing, like fix it, stop. It says stop lying to yourself, because it's a guy. He's not gonna be pregnant, but this one.
Oh, so this is it's a workout app, and that's his belly.
Yeah.
I kept thinking it was his head,
Me too.
but it's his belly.
Oh, you guys. Oh, sorry. Well,
Yeah, I got it. I get it now.
I think it's a workout ad that stopped, but I mean, right here it says
CrossFit,
Yeah,
right.
there you go. I mean, that looks like a hammer and something. So I thought it was like a construction company for some reason. So then I got this ad, which is a bounty ad. So it shows you that the spill is like all absorbed into the sheet.
Shape of the paper towel.
Yeah.
Right.
And then
And what's sitting next to it? That little.
it's just a bowl and a spoon that
Oh, it's
flipped
a
over.
turned over bowl.
Yeah.
Okay. Turned over bowl.
And then this one is a Windex or Pledge. I don't know.
Oh, how
but
clean the glass is.
yeah. So and there's like a lot of these where it's like the face is just on. I mean, I thought it was pretty cool because it's like you'd be walking by and you just see this huge face. Just,
Right. Well, and that's back to you guys. If you have a concept, pull it off yourself, right? I mean, you'd have the best time doing that, wouldn't you? Your friends would with you.
My other ones are kind of similar to them because it's like concept, but it's not. But those are the 5 that I think I did.
Those are great. Thank you. Okay, so Chris, you stuck it up there, yeah?
Yeah. So I'm just turning, instead of doing like 3 separate archives and having to have 3 separate archives,
You're
I'm just
building a big one.
yeah, and I just rename it. So this one I thought was pretty clever. This was a water management ad for Denver, and I mean in my mind it's pretty straightforward. When you sit on a bench, you usually don't occupy the entire bench. You just have your one slot. So kind of, you know, putting a human aspect into conserving your water, which is take what you need. Super straightforward. What else I have? This one, I don't know if you guys can see it. You guys see it?
The desert and trees or bushes and stuff like that.
Yeah.
What's that top part?
Can you see my cursor?
It's
Yeah.
a goat.
It's what?
A goat, so
Yeah, it's like a ram or something. So you have this dunes as its furry texture, and then here being the horn.
Oh, got it.
And then the eye. Yeah. So yeah, anything past this little bump here is just background, but this is all supposed to make you.
A tagline for this? I don't
And
know.
it's what kind of animal? I'm sorry.
It's like a ram.
Do you see the tree on the far right?
Do you see this horn here?
Yeah.
A ram or a sheep. It's like it's like a leg there, and leg there.
Oh yeah, I see.
Oh, now I see it.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm with you now.
It's a small picture too, so it
I
doesn't.
got it. No, I got it.
Yeah, WWF is notorious for these types of ads where they take, you know, natural scenes or like what looks like a natural environment and then turns it into an animal just to, you
And
know.
what's the tagline say?
The tagline is in Japanese, so I couldn't even actually identify what the mission is. I just know that WWF does a very good job of putting animals, which is what they represent as a company, into their advertisements really well. So I'm assuming that it has something to do with an animal that lives in this type of environment.
Right.
What else do I have? This one's pretty cool. This is a Philips ad. It's kind of small, but using the light bulb as, you know, save energy, so you're helping the environment and global warming by using CFLs instead of using the, you know, just old stupid lights. And I don't think this would have worked without that little polar bear there because it took me a second. But, you know, it's clever. It's like the tip of the iceberg kind of thing. And
It's not about global warming?
no, it is. It
Oh.
100% is.
Oh.
Switching to these lights is saving more energy, so, you know, it's the whole thing. And then I also had that penguin ad, Guillermo. Yeah, this was super cool. IBM just does such a good job all the time with their negative space ads like that. And then this is one of my favorite designers in a magazine I found in the library. She just does this really crazy illustrative work, and on the screen here it's pretty apparent because the black on a screen is so bright, you know, but in the magazine it took me a minute to actually see what this was trying to say. And it's just like a magazine cover or a cover for a poster or cover for a brochure for this MoMA event in New York. But yeah.
Talk to me.
Talk to me.
Oh, talk to me.
Yeah. She is a nut. I mean, she got one of the biggest like design achievements you could get as far as, you know, this print magazine is concerned. She's only 23 years old. She's like super.
And who's the artist?
Anna Latham. She's done. There are some really good designers in this issue as well. Every year, Print Magazine does. They used to do top 30, and now it's best 15 under 30. So all the really good, prominent designers right now that are under 30 years old. Most of them are 28, 29, thankfully. So it's kind of like, you know, hopeful. But then there's her. It's just like, her work is so good.
What was her name?
Anna Latham. Laytham. Yeah. And then, I mean, yeah, you'll see her stuff. You'll see a bunch of other stuff in there. And yeah, there's just really good design in New York. I don't know why it's all there.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's great. Thank you. Who's back there? Sam, is that you? Sam?
Sorry. Ow. All right.
So this was pretty basic. It's just using the foreign names of a thing to get around censorship laws. So I don't know. Phuket is the name of a city in Vietnam, I think. Thailand. Sorry.
That's great.
Not in this context.
Right.
That's great.
So, and then since we're doing bench advertisements, this one thought it'd be good. It's Nike just got a bench, but then took the part where you can actually sit down and just like you don't need to sit, just go run.
Yeah.
Which works great, but it'd kind of be annoying if you wanted to actually sit down.
Right.
So be like, thanks, Nike. Now I can't sit down. Now I have to. So I'm around. So this is an advert. It's for making music for the hard of hearing, and so this is takeoff on Pink Floyd's "Wish You Were Here" album cover. In the actual one, the two guys are like front and center, where you can see like what's going on, and the guy on the right's on fire. This they just edited it to make the guys far off in the background and make it's hard, like you can't see it. So it's making the part that's hard to hear from music or the people that are hard of hearing, they can't hear, like everything sounds like it's really far away. So they're an organization that helps out with that.
So this is mimicking a Pink Floyd cover?
Yeah, it's the same thing. It's the same backdrop and the guy's shaking hands with the guy on fire, but they're standing like right over the vent instead of being off in the background. So
Oh, I got it.
it only really works if you know
the cover.
Yeah.
Right.
So you could probably do the same thing with the Dark Side of the Moon, just have a very tiny triangle and rainbow in the background. But
Right.
And then I just kind of like the old map way that they did this, showing that the how cigarettes are constantly waging war and attacking your heart with the different things they show here: carbon monoxide, arsenic, butane, that are all constantly just bombarding it. It's like turns your health into a war zone.
Where did you find this one? This is very unusual.
I don't know off the top of my head. I can go back. I can go
Okay,
check the source.
It doesn't look correct.
Yeah, well, I think that's the idea for the look. Is it's trying to look like an old battle plan, like
No, I
something you'd
understand
see
that.
at the transition phase in an Indiana Jones movie.
Yeah. Yes.
So.
That's true.
And then I really like the kind of brush paint animation they had with this one, and it's the fact that it has a pretty heavy mesh into it, whereas you just look at it once, it looks like it's just a guy being dragged by his dog. But then when you see the "Dogs Cure Depression, Adopt One" tagline, it's sort of like dogs they can pull you back and keep you from jumping off the edge. So
It's a very strong positive negative space ad. Right?
I like the lyric you used.
Yeah. Nice.
and then
Oh my. Check that out. Yep.
yeah, so it was popular. So I threw another one in just to go in the WWF, but this isn't a real ad. It's just a joke. Like back in the World Wrestling Federation lost their trademark to the World Wildlife Fund,
Yeah.
and so
You had fun. You had fun. I did.
Yeah.
So advertising with a sense of humor, right? Okay, thank you. Okay, so let's see.
I'm up there.
You're up there. Okay. Come on up.
They used to be the WWE, now they're the WWE. They had a better trademark.
Is that going to go back to
entertainment?
Try
I don't
going
think
backwards
it did.
right there with the arrow.
I just remember it happened a couple of years ago and it was hilarious when it did.
Yeah. So go back to history and locate Design Archive 03. Oops, I don't know if that took me the right one. Do it again. Go back to history. Go down. There. No, down. Yep. There you go.
Where are my comments?
Is this you?
This is me, but my comments aren't there.
Yeah. Are those your assets?
Yeah, I'll just
That's
go
okay.
grab
That's
mine.
okay. We're good.
Yeah, no, I'll just.
Oh, you want references for yourself?
I mean, it's kind of self-explanatory, but I liked this top one because it's like for roadside assistance, and I liked that they used the tow truck kind of toy-looking thing as the arrow going towards like the home. I don't know, representing like a phone. Thought that was cool. The second one is I guess it's a really popular tech magazine, and it has nothing to do with the magazine itself, but it's showing that the dimensions of the new slimmest TV out there. So that one was interesting.
The new slimmest TV?
Yeah, it's called the
Oh.
OLED TV.
Oh.
It's curved as
Interesting.
well.
Wow.
So I thought that was just kind of cool to cross the two. I like this one a lot. It's a fire-breathing penguin, which is like kind of depicting a refrigerator that will give you cold and warm water.
Oh. Oh.
Yeah.
Huh.
So that was cool.
I never would have gotten that.
This one I just like how it put you. I don't know. Everyone can like associate a glass of milk with an Oreo, so just putting those little rimmed edges at the top and bottom can like bring you back to a place. Right? A pastime. I liked this one a lot because it's playing off like the idea that movies only get a part of what the book is trying to get across.
So what's the ad for?
It's for a books on tape, I believe, or yeah, I believe it was books on tape, or it was buying actual books. I forget.
Or is buying? Could it be
Buying
like
the actual books online. What's that?
I saw that ad. I thought it was advertising for the actual DVD.
Of the book,
Yeah.
right?
What is?
I like your version.
Yeah, I thought it, or maybe I just got it
That's
wrong.
okay.
I like
But
the
you know
idea.
what? It doesn't really matter, actually, because what the point is we all look at the book and we recognize the book, and we all look at the DVD and the spindle that the DVD would fit on, so we know it's a DVD, and we all recognize that. So it's either about the movie extracted from the book, the story, or your metaphor, actually, Brooks, which is a movie doesn't capture the whole story.
And it's an ad for a bookstore.
It's an ad for a bookstore?
Yeah.
Or books on
Yeah.
tape or something. Yeah.
Okay. So did you just look it up?
Yeah, it's the little yellow part says a big part of the story is lost when it becomes a movie.
There you go. Which
Okay.
is what you were saying. Yeah.
This one, even though it has the dog food in it, it's kind of self-explanatory, like helping your dog lose weight.
Yeah. yeah. That's cute.
This one I liked. It's about getting like business on the map, so called, and I liked how they took like an actual building and made it into like a
Location
Google Maps
marker on a-
location
right.
marker,
Uh-huh.
just like show that
That's very clever.
get an online presence and etc.
Mhm.
And then this one was probably my favorite. It's for a photo manipulation program, and it says the best finish you can imagine, and this is like a photoshopped picture of Hitler with all of them instead of like going like this, they're all flipping him off.
Oh, they're all flipping him off? Is that what it is?
It says the best finish you can imagine, finisher.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Very clever.
Do you want me to include the comments, which I resubmitted with my comments, or is that fine? Cool.
Okay, so Sean, that brings us to you, I think. Did you do yours, Sean? What? Did you do yours?
Okay. I had some, or one that was used by another person too, but I think a lot of us did. Where was the actual? Oh wait, shoot.
It's okay.
And I also got kind of wrapped up in another project and didn't get to do any writing on it, but this one was actually one that I used for the concept and advertising, and it's a Volkswagen Jetta ad. And I mean, without saying anything, you can, or without reading anything, you can kind of tell that they're having fun in the car. The car has become the beach, and the tagline says, "Getting there is just as fun." And the next one here, this is a condom ad, and it says, "Don't be stupid, use protection," which I think is pretty effective and uses humor pretty well. This one is Pepsi. It says, "Ask for more," and I guess, you know, she's got the lemon and ice, so just pour the Pepsi straight on, you know. And that was one that we saw already. And then this one I really liked. It's a wine grape with a slingshot, obviously, and says Vino, red and white grapes, surprisingly strong. So you're gonna get hit in the mouth pretty hard with this stuff. So I thought that was kind of clever.
And the grape shaped like a bomb. Also.
Well, bombs, I guess, are shaped, or you could say,
yeah,
they're just both round.
Right.
So, yeah, that's what I had.
Great, that's great. Brad, you want to do it?
Sure.
Breathe. Okay, breathe. Down. That's weird. It shouldn't have to be.
Yeah, I don't know. Oh well.
But it must
think-
be that you,
I think it only allows you to see it
if you're logged in.
if you're a student or if you have an SBC. I don't know.
No.
Well,
It should just be a link to your Google Drive, which you probably didn't make public for us.
should I log in or not?
Change it on your thing for us, and
Okay.
we'll come back to you. How's that? You change it for us?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And oh, you might not even go.
No, what happened?
Yeah, we're not going to get out of that. Close that window. Close that window. Close Dolly. Close Newtown. Close that. Close that. Close that. And then let's go to history.
Oh, close
Up
that.
at the top.
Oh.
And go down to, you can go to fall 2015 Design Archive number 3.
Oh, it was right about there.
It's okay, you got it.
And number 3. Okay. These are mine. Nope.
So, I don't know why these are happening. Go ahead and log in. That's strange.
Okay.
I think if this happens, it means that you haven't shared your drives and made them public. I think.
I think mine is. Yeah,
You
mine
do?
is.
I
Mine
don't
is.
know.
Anyway, so this is an ad for it's like a lotion, like a moisturizing lotion, like a medicinal kind of, I don't know, or pharmaceutical moisturizing lotion, and it just says, and the headline or the tagline says, "Brings your tattoos to life," and I just thought that
So
was,
the barbed wire tears your stocking.
yeah, I just thought that was kind of funny. And then this tagline says, "Some things are hard to separate," and it just says Facebook and work, and it's work that trying to look like plates, or and then just like grease, Facebook grease over. And I just thought it was fun because it just like kind of shows that you can take a concept that really has nothing to do with like soap, and then just I thought that was pretty cool. And this one I think is freaking hilarious. And I think it's funny because how sex sells, and like here they're trying to sell a bra, but they like use the oranges instead.
What's the headline? What's the
Fits,
tagline?
and the tagline says
Oh,
fits naturally. Yeah. So I just thought that was pretty funny, and I mean the concept is just genius. I think it's really well made. And then this one is just like super simple for like some flight company, which says that you can go from Australia to the States.
It's pretty genius, right?
Yeah, and it's like so easy and so genius. I'm so jealous.
It's all about concept. It's all about talking out loud and coming up with concept. Yeah.
Yeah. And then this last one is also like sex sells, because this is an ad for organ donation, and that's like the last thing you would think of that this ad is. And then it just says, "Becoming a donor is probably your only chance to get inside of her."
Oh.
I was just like, I just think that was so funny.
Amazing.
I just think that was so
That
funny.
is not a USA ad, for sure.
I don't think so. I think
would never fly in the US. That would not happen here.
I
That
think,
is
I
not a
mean,
USA ad.
I just think it's so funny, and I don't know. I
That's
think,
very clever.
yeah, it's definitely a unique way of trying to make people
Right.
to,
Very
sign up for
clever.
organ donation.
That's great.
Yep, that was mine.
Thank you. Okay, who else is coming up? I can go either side of the room. Who's ready? Hop on up, you guys. We're gonna run out of time.
But
All right.
all right.
I don't
All
know
right.
where it was
Did
at.
you fix it? I don't know what
Well, I
the
don't
deal
think
was.
it. Yeah, I don't think it was. It was already shared.
It's weird.
Correct. So this one, I think it's for like dish soap or something. But it's like the tagline says, "You eat what you touch." So it's like it looks like, to me it looks like a loaf of bread.
Right.
That's a dog.
Yeah.
So you touch your dog and then you eat
Yeah.
your sandwich.
Yeah.
So I thought that was kind of
So it's for germaphobes.
yeah. I think this is the same design company.
That's very funny.
But it's for like headphones. They had like a whole campaign of like different, like this one's like mariachi, and then they had like other like rock band or whatever
In your ear.
in the ear.
Um,
This one is like
there's a craftsman in all of us. So it's like a skeleton of like tools.
Oh, so those are all tools?
Yeah, it's like craftsman tools.
Wow.
I think it's like a hard hat. This is a Toblerone ad. There's like a whole bunch of them, but like
What's the tagline say?
the main piece of your films. So I think it's like when you're at the movies. I mean, I don't eat Toblerone at the movies, but I don't think it's an American ad.
So did people see Superman in this thing?
That's what I thought too. I thought they were hinting at it.
Yeah, that's like what they're doing. And then there's one that's like Jaws. There's like
Oh, there is?
yeah, but they use like the triangle of like the shape
Of jaws. Of teeth.
of the Toblerone triangle shape.
But the teeth are a series of.
Well, I think it's just like sticking out of the water.
Oh, is it
it's
just
like
the-
water
oh, just the
sticking out.
fin. Okay.
But they do like a bunch of movies. like that.
Toblerone is that candy bar box that's shaped like a triangle. Like
Yeah.
a pyramid.
It's like chocolate.
Yeah. Yeah.
And this one's
Yeah.
for like this one's for eyeglasses. So it's like super zoomed in of a match head.
Oh. And what's the headline or what does it say on it?
It just says eyeglass sale or I don't know. But I just thought it was cool because it's like eyeglasses like see really clear. I don't know. So it's like
So it's super.
so it's like you're like you could see
Huh.
a match head. And I've never seen a match head that close
Wow.
up.
That's interesting.
So that's what
Well, so actually, so what we walk away with for a lot of these ads, just to bring it home, is we're looking at something in a way we never looked at it before. That's what makes all these things interesting, right? I mean, it's like moving the letter A to the end of US. We're changing how we look at things. Like the match head, we're changing things. We don't go away. So it's changing our perception of how we see things, like the people walking on the dog and so forth. Okay, who's coming up here? I can just go down the row again. Go down this row again. Phil, you got one up there? Was that I don't want to? Is that, okay. And what about you?
I'll do it.
Evelyn. Okay.
Let's wait.
Come on, Ryan.
No, it's cool. I mean,
Come on, Ryan. You're up there. You're out of your seat.
Alright. How do I work this thing? Okay.
So go to
Which one?
histories could be your easiest thing to do.
Okay. I mean, I just recently.
And design archive 3. Yeah, right there.
Okay.
So you can create a live link, to your links, right? You do know that.
A live link.
In other words, your Google
Oh, just-
Drive has a link,
Yeah.
and you can type my link,
Yeah.
and you can highlight it, and there's a little chain link in
Okay.
the forum,
Yeah.
and you can make it a live link. So
Oh,
we
so it'll
can
go to
edit-
like where exactly I found it? Okay, that's cool.
Oh no, it'll go to your Google Drive.
It'll just go to my Google Drive? Okay. Okay, cool. I'll do that next time then.
Uh-huh.
So this one's I really didn't offer that much of an explanation on any of these, but I just thought it was kind of interesting, and I kind of wonder how they went about doing it and what design or what software they used to do it. I'm guessing like maybe Photoshop, but they probably use more than that. But it's just saying it's
It would
like
be a combination of things. It would be
yeah.
two images melded together.
hmm
Photoshop.
Yeah, it's Photoshop.
It's like dry lake bed texture, kind of like
Yeah.
breaking up.
Yep.
But yeah, it says desert. What does that say? Desertification destroys 6,000 species every year. So I mean, that's insane. Like, that's a lot of species, I guess. I don't know exactly. I'm trying to remember what makes a species. Like what classification? Like what's the actual definition of a species? I don't know.
I don't either.
To be honest, but yeah. So I found that pretty interesting.
And sad.
And sad, yeah.
Yeah.
This one's pretty clever. I know it's super simple and like I just thought it would. I mean, it's like as simple as it can get, really.
So
and
that's
just
an
to keep.
ad with a call to action, everybody.
Yeah.
Right? So it's seasonal, it's an air conditioning checkup offer,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah, and it's free. I thought it was kind of funny. And then this one kind of has a lot of going on and some facts here, scientific facts right here, or just But I just thought how it was just kind of interesting how they showed how thorough it was, and yeah, so
It has a lot going on.
yeah, it's almost too complex for my liking. There's a lot of texts and I don't know.
Well, so what this is showing you is, first off, it's an ad that is showing the product. And it's showing the product the way the product's used, which is a mouthwash.
Yeah.
And obviously it's showing its effectiveness, like it's in a hero position. I don't know what on the other side of the scale is.
It's floss.
Oh, it's
showing that
floss.
it's equally as effective, so it's kind of like the Listerine is going through like floss would.
There you go.
Through your teeth.
Yeah, I can't see it from here, but yeah, it's a lot going on. It's kind of a turnoff, right, with all of this stuff going on, because we all, being graphic artists, tend to like ads. What I will tell you though is, if you have a real client, that's the amount of text you have to put in an ad. If you have a real client, I will tell you that. These glamorous ads that we have, it's very few and far between. Every client wants to pack them full and tell their whole story.
Yeah, like it would be a lot more effective if they deleted all of this right here and that, like the small print, and then just kept that logo and this, and then maybe that.
We'll also look at the color palette. So you have a full color image basically with these gums, which is really kind of gross and ugly, right? And you get the idea of flossing with mouthwash. That's great. But then you've got this dark black with this scary yellow. Black and yellow are scary colors. They're like warning signs, like warning, this is a dangerous caution thing. So it's probably a really poor color palette for this. It's also not a color palette for clean and fresh, right? It's a color palette for gross and dirty and warning. So how Listerine hired an agency to do that for them, you guys can do much better, right? Yeah. Okay.
Should have been like green and like white and stuff like that, fresh,
Fresh, white, white,
Yeah.
white, with the cool blues of a refreshing mouth, and leave the gums out of it. That's the way I say it. But,
Yeah. And then oh no, there's a couple more. This one, I just thought it was pretty clever.
Yeah, it's clever.
I don't know, all the simple ads really get me. It does have a lot of color in it, but with those like very clean and minimalist vibe to it, I don't know. It's pretty good.
Yeah, I wonder if that was a real ad for something.
Yeah, I don't even think I've ever heard of Princeton cigarettes.
No cigarette company would advertise that you're going to die from your cigarettes. So
yeah,
it's a Cancer
and these are
Society
both
ad, or
yeah.
it's a toxic.
And there's no such thing as Bago. It's just like an Acme kind of thing. And then this one, thought it was pretty clever.
We used that in one of our promo things, right? The Jaguar ads, right?
Yeah, we did
where
like
they
a
did
BMW.
logo on
Yeah.
the cereal, and here's our Audi.
Yeah.
And what's the tagline say on this one?
Oh, it says "Devour the Road," the 550 horsepower F-Type R coupe.
Okay, so pretzels devour the road.
Yeah,
I'm not sure
and
it's that.
What's that?
I'm not sure if it's that wonderful. Do you guys think it's that wonderful?
Uh,
Devour the road.
No, not the tagline. No.
They're into food logos, aren't they?
Yeah.
The last one was cereal and blueberries or something.
Well, I think that's the whole tagline. They make the other companies' logos with food.
Yeah.
No, I understand that. I mean, I understand that. I just. Do you think of devouring 4 pretzels? Really? I mean,
You kind of snack on pretzels.
I don't know.
Snack the
Snack
road.
the competition.
Snack
the road.
around. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
it?
that
That's all
is
yours?
that is it.
Okay, thank you. That's great. Okay, I'm ready for you. Brian, you got some up there? Yep.
Oh wait. Have to.
So you
do
have to
the
give
ink.
permission to your, so we can
Okay.
log into Google Drive a different account or something like that. Okay, who else is coming up in the meantime? Anybody else? Curtis, did you stick them up there?
Yeah.
Yeah? And Ellen, you're here, right? Did you have some up here too? Yes, I think so. Okay. See if you have time.
So I also used the one with the girl in front of the guy.
Uh-huh.
There was actually a bunch of different ones that I found that were the same thing, just different colors of hair and stuff like that. So that was cool. I have this one, which is putting the grapes inside the where the grape juice would be, kind of just reinforcing that it's natural grape juice kind of feel. Then I have this one, which is orange as the candy, which I thought was pretty cool. Makes me want to eat the candy. It's like a refreshing snack more than just candy. And then that one, I actually like this one the best because it is a mouth, but it doesn't gross me out at all. And it still kind of gets across the fact that it would kind of cool your throat when you need like a throat lozenge or whatever.
So it's an icicle and not that thing in the back of your throat.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it does a good job of not making you think of like the back of a mouth too terribly much, but you still get the idea. And then here's one for, I just thought this one was kind of funny because I didn't really get how it would be a chicken burger. It's just kind of, chicken outlined in some McDonald's wrappers. So.
And what are they advertising? A chicken burger?
Yeah, a chicken burger. So, I mean, I thought it was just kind of funny how they didn't really put forth anything to get it across more than it's chicken. It could have been like chicken nuggets or something like that.
What's the tagline? Chicken burger? That's it?
Yep.
I don't know.
It just makes you feel bad.
Makes you feel bad that for chicken's history. And it doesn't make your mouth water for any kind of food, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought it was crazy. It was a McDonald's ad. Like,
right. Yeah.
I don't know.
Is that it?
Yep.
Is that all you got?
That's all 5 of them.
Okay. Good job. Thank you.
Oops.
Oh yeah. Okay, so this one I didn't notice it didn't actually have a brand to it.
Yeah.
But I mean you can tell the point. Obviously, it's the Twin Towers, and right here it says, "One person dies every 8 seconds from smoking. Stop it now." And then this one is about dentures. So it says, "You'll forget you're wearing dentures." So apples are usually hard and kiwis are soft, so the person wearing dentures isn't going to realize how hard they are. This is for a McDonald's ad. A sandwich with a fish sandwich.
That really disturbs me. Really disturbs me.
McDonald's is not doing well with their burger rep.
They're not stirring our interest, I think.
So then this is another WWF one. First I thought it was a smoking one, but then this is more like they're cutting down the forest, which I mean also in the same way, I guess. It's probably like doing both at the same time, smoking and deforestation.
Well, none of us can breathe without trees. No oxygen, no trees.
Yeah, and that too.
No oxygen, no trees.
I didn't think of
that. No trees, no oxygen, I should say.
So yeah, right there it says "before it's too late" at the bottom. And then this is, and these two are ads for alarm clocks. So like, I guess it's painful to wake up in the morning, so these alarm clocks. And then I had this one too. There was also another one with like little hot dog buns, but shaped as slippers, and it was the same thing. Like you eat what you touch, so yeah, those are mine.
Those are good. Those were good examples. Thank you. You want don't feel bad, Ellen, if we.
No, it's okay.
Really, you'll survive. She's like, that's okay. All right. You know what? I hope I wanted all of us to see each other's ads mostly because I wanted us to have a dialogue together about what we see and what we value in the ads based on layout and color palette and concept. And all of these ads really support the idea that a strong concept is what makes a successful ad, not necessarily gimmicky graphics, right? Or oh so dramatic graphics. So that's why when you come back on Thursday, you'll come back with your design brief as thorough as possible, and you'll be solid on your product and start developing design concepts, because that's our next step. And on Thursday, I'll have worked out also for you more deadlines for us to hit so you all understand the process. We're going to kind of handhold each other through this, mostly so all of us stay on target. If that's okay with you, I actually think we're doing okay that way, don't you? Yeah? Okay. All right, so anyway, I'll see you on Thursday. Thank you for being here.